Not Gray is here on the Blaze Radio Network.
I am Patrick of Helena, son of Joseph. And we are here to have, to let you know about what's going on, have some fun while we do it, and make the apocalypse fun. So, join us, won't you? Tell your friends, your neighbors, people you don't even like. Invite them. And they can all partake in this wondrous event.
I think you should go wake up your neighbors right now. Make sure they listen live.
Yeah, right.
Don't let them wait for the podcast.
Mm-hmm.
Go knock on their door right now. We'll wait.
All right. You should have done that by now.
Yeah.
Jim Cantore from the Weather Channel on the hurricane, which is just devastating. Probably by now you've seen clips of the devastation. It is unbelievable. I mean, water up to rooftops. Really outrageous. And here's Jim Cantore.
Like underneath the roofing, maybe in the roof.
Cantore.
It just came flying by.
Oh,
bro.
All right, you know what?
Dang.
I think I'm just going to come in here for a second.
I think that's a good idea.
Just give me a second.
Yeah,
Okay. We'll give you a second. You all right?
I'm all right. I'm fine.
Okay.
I'm fine.
Look at that sign behind him
You can't
moving.
stand up.
Jeez.
All right.
A reporter's going to get...
I'm going to let you guys look at the pictures, okay?
Killed.
Yeah,
I'm gonna
someone's
stand
going to get
behind this wall a little
decapitated.
bit, 'cause I'm
Yeah.
just getting-
That's Jim Cantore.
When he shows up in your neighborhood, it's trouble.
Yeah.
Oh.
Because he goes all over the place, right, with hurricanes, trying to find the worst spot for the hurricane where it comes ashore at 155, full strength. I got to feel the full strength of this. Do we know what the wind velocity was there?
What was the maximum winds that they ended up getting out of this
I
storm?
don't know. I don't know, but it was 155 miles an hour before it hit shore. So
Yeah.
outrageous. I mean, he didn't have to fake that report. You can tell.
Oh, no.
That was legit. A lot of times they'll lean against the wind, like they're trying desperately to not be blown away. And then somebody will walk behind them and they're walking upright and just fine. And sometimes, you get the reports, like I'll never forget. I think I've mentioned this before. When we first got to Houston, it was right after I got there and started working there. Hurricane or tropical storm Allison hit. And so I was trying to get home, not realizing the severity of the thing, trying to get home from the station. And I see this news crew, the Channel 2 news crew with Dominique Saxa. And she was standing sort of in the gutter area.
In the little culvert alongside the road?
Yeah.
Oh, come on.
Where all the water drains into it.
Sure.
And so it pools up there. And so she's standing in that when the sidewalk was perfectly fine. There wasn't an inch of water on the sidewalk. But she wanted to make it dramatic. And so that was her shot. So that's what they do. They try to make it as dynamic and dramatic as they possibly can.
Yeah, Ian came on shore at 155.
Wow.
Making it,
Jeez.
let's see, the fifth most powerful hurricane landfall.
We have what's number one? Do we have the top four?
Here we go. So Ian's number 5 there with 155. Michael in 2018, 160 miles per hour.
Really?
Andrew, oh boy, in 1992, 165 miles per hour.
Wow.
So you remember that's Florida as well. Camille,
Miami.
Mississippi, right? 175 miles per hour. And that was 1969. And then the Labor Day hurricane of 1935, 185 miles per hour.
Jeez. Wow. Well, how is that possible when the storms have been getting stronger and more frequent, more intense? Huh. It's only fifth. That's interesting. And it's the only one this season, knock on wood.
Yeah.
And let's hope it stays that way. But.
Yeah. That Labor Day hurricane from 1935 was the Florida Keys.
185 miles an hour.
Yeah, it says affected areas: Florida Keys, North Carolina, Bahamas, Virginia, Georgia, South Carolina, Florida Panhandle. So it sounds like it went. Yeah. So if you're looking, it probably must have gone. It hit the Panhandle, had to cross, go in the Gulf, and then go up. Wow, I cannot imagine that.
No, it's crazy. I I don't think they know the hurricane of Galveston in 1900. I don't think they know how strong those winds were because it was, 1900. So how did you measure it then? I don't know. But that was a pretty strong one.
Yeah, well, they're saying that one is 145 miles per hour.
Seriously?
Yeah.
Oh, they do have an estimate on that.
Yeah, remember the big thing there was the
Jeez.
flooding.
Yeah, the
That's
water.
why they built the seawall
storm
afterwards.
surge. And that's why they raised Galveston 17 feet in 1900. It's a pretty amazing engineering feat, I think, especially for that time. We don't even consider that kind of stuff now. We just say, well, the storms are more frequent and more intense now because look at what's happening along the coast. Yeah, because everybody moved to the coast. That didn't used to be the case. So, that's going to be a dangerous area as long as hurricanes exist. But fortunately, if you vote for Democrats this year, you won't have to worry about that anymore.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah, they're going to take care of it. They're going to completely fix it. So Ian has churned across Florida the past 18 hours. We have rare first-person views of the storm surge. This camera is 6 feet off the ground in Fort Myers Beach, Florida. Take a look at this. Oh, wow.
Oh, up and over the camera, man. Look at that. Boy. That's a street right there.
They certainly didn't overestimate the storm surge this time. They were saying 9 or 10 feet. It was 18 feet. 18-foot storm surge. Just incredible. Jeez. So our thoughts and prayers are with all the Floridians in the path of this thing. Yeah. And here we are in the year 2022 where everything is politicized, maybe even especially hurricanes. But Ron DeSantis doesn't let that stuff go. Fortunately, we got somebody who's sticking up for common sense.
FEMA Administrator Chris Wells said today that she acknowledged concerns that Florida, as was said, lacks response to the storm so far, and that
Whoa. Give me a break. That is nonsense.
Give me a
Stop
break.
politicizing, okay? Stop it. We declared a state of emergency when this thing wasn't even formed. We've had people in here. You've had counties doing. They've done a lot of hard work. And honestly, you're trying to attack me, I get, but you're attacking these other people who've worked very hard. And so that's just totally false.
Nice. Nice. Anybody else that's that strong defending themselves and their assistants and the people who've worked so dang hard to do things in the state?
Yeah.
You never see that. We're doing our best. I mean, we try. And no, not him. Whoa. I'm going to stop you right there. That's awesome.
He's a more eloquent Donald Trump.
Yes, he is.
That's what Ron DeSantis is.
Yes, he is. And, of course, it's climate change. It's everybody's got to bring that into it. Speaking of politicizing this thing, Don Lemon was certainly doing that.
Can you tell us what this is and what effect the climate change has on this phenomenon?
Gosh sakes.
Well, we can come back and talk about climate change at a later time. I want to focus on the here and now. We think the rapid intensification is probably almost done. There could be a little bit more intensification as it's still over the warm waters of the eastern Gulf of Mexico, but I don't think we're going to get any more rapid intensification. If you look here, you can actually see, pretty interesting for your viewers, you can actually see a second eye wall forming around the inner eye wall, and that's basically the second eye wall has overtaken the original eye wall, and that should arrest development.
So, listen, I'm just trying to get that. You said you want to talk about climate change, but what effect does climate change have on this phenomenon that is happening now? Because it seems these storms are intensifying.
Unreal. No, it doesn't.
I don't think you can link climate change to any one event.
Okay.
Thank you.
On the whole, on the cumulative, climate change may be making storms worse, but to link it to any one event,
it's not.
I would caution against that.
But
okay, well, listen, I grew up there, and these storms are intensifying. Something is causing them to intensify.
Douchebag, these storms aren't intensifying. There's absolutely no evidence of that whatsoever. In fact, even NOAA admits that. the National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration says there's no evidence.
Yeah, that's a government employee.
The storms are not intensifying. Stop saying it. Stop lying about it.
Yeah, so here are the years again of the top 5 powerful storms. If you want to go back in time, 2022, 2018, 1992, 1969, and then the most powerful one, 1935.
Jeez. And yet he insisted on making that point, even though the weather guy's telling him, no, you can't link climate change to this necessarily.
The government weather guy
right.
from NOAA. That's the second time in a week that Don Lemon has had his butt handed to him live on TV. The other one was were you out when we had the lady he had on that he wanted to badmouth? It was during the Queen's funeral stuff.
Yeah, no.
And he wanted her to basically badmouth colonialism and like the history of slavery.
Really?
And he picked on the wrong gal for that because she gave everyone a history lesson on the history of slavery. And Rob's going to look for that for us. You got to see this. And it is worth playing again because if you enjoy watching Don Lemon make a fool of himself.
Nice.
Oh, you will love this video when we get it loaded.
Well, this is coming when, there's all of this wealth and you hear about it comes as England is facing rising costs of living, a living crisis, austerity budget cuts, and so on. And then you have those who are asking for reparations for colonialism, and they're wondering, $100 billion, $24 billion here and there, $500 million there. Some people want to be paid back, and members of the public are wondering, why are we suffering when you are you have all of this vast wealth? Those are legitimate concerns.
Are they?
Well, I think you're right about reparations in terms of if people want it, though, what they need to do is you always need to go back to the beginning of a supply chain. Where was the beginning of the supply chain? That was in Africa. And when across the entire world, when slavery was taking place, which was the first nation in the world that abolished slavery? The first nation in the world to abolish it. It was started by William Wilberforce, was the British. In Great Britain, they abolished slavery. 2,000 naval men died on the high seas trying to stop slavery. Why? Because the African kings were rounding up their own people. They had them on cages waiting in the beaches. No one was running into Africa to get them. And I think you're totally right. If reparations need to be paid, we need to go right back to the beginning of that supply chain and say who was rounding up their own people and having them handcuffed in cages. Absolutely. That's where they should start. And maybe, I don't know, the descendants of those families where they died in the high seas trying to stop the slavery, that those families should receive something too, I think, at the same time.
Okay.
It's an interesting discussion, Hillary. Thank you very much. I appreciate it. We'll continue to discuss.
Thank you for handing my ass to me. I appreciate that. That was
you look like an idiot.
That was really wonderful.
Wasn't that tasty?
That was great.
It was really fun, yeah. And by the way, we did look this up. I can't remember if we got on the show with this. Jeffy and I were talking about there were no new British colonies established while Queen Elizabeth was on the throne. So back it off. Okay?
Yeah. The last one was 1947, I think.
Somewhere.
And she came along in 52, I believe, 51, 52-ish. So, yeah, put that in your pipe and smoke it.
Thank you.
One thing, though, that's a little bit misleading is that Britain was the first nation to abolish slavery. That sounds like, well, we were evil and kept it going long after they did. Well, kind of. They started way before the colonies, of course. And in fact, we were their colony when slavery existed here. And our founders put in motion the mechanism that would eventually end slavery. And we did it much faster than they did, frankly. 888-900-3393. Pat Unleashed on Twitter. But former sports anchor Bill Weir, whom CNN pays to blame everything on global warming, reported on the hurricane, and here's what he had to say.
I'm just in front of the memorial for Hurricane Charlie, which in 2004 devastated this town and sent a wake-up call to this community about the threats of living on the coast in a rapidly warming planet. As a result of that storm, they were the first community in Florida to put in a climate adaptation plan, a sea level coastal resiliency plan. that they're, have been working on for years now, and this will be the test. It's hard to build power lines or building codes for 17-foot storm surge, though. That's the crazy variable here right now. No one has ever seen that, so we don't know what that looks like. But this is exactly what climate scientists have been warning about for a long time, and now we get to see it up close. John?
No, it's not. No, it's not.
Is that report from the toilet?
They just insist. They just insist on doing the exact opposite of what they preached forever. Don't mistake weather for climate. You can't take one storm and blame it on climate change. I mean, that's asinine. Even if you believe in climate change, you can't make this point. And yet, they do it every time. Every time there's a heat wave, every time there's a hurricane, every time there's a tornado, every time there's drought or flood. It's all climate change. As if those things never existed before now. Even Lester Holt at NBC got in on the whole climate change train yesterday.
And Morgan, the climate change, the warmer waters are also contributing to what we're witnessing.
Yeah, we got it.
Will
Yeah, we are seeing the rapid intensification of these storms. I'm reminded of being in Lake Charles for Hurricane Laura, going to bed when it was a Category 2, waking up and it being a Category 4.
What? So storms actually evolve while you sleep? They don't check in on your sleep schedule, bro? I remember going to bed and it was a 2, and it woke up and it was a 4.
Have you been asleep the entire hurricane season? Because this is the first one.
They've been waiting for this.
One.
They've been waiting for this.
This is not like 2005 where we had one after another, and that included Katrina. This is one. That's so far. And, we got a month left.
Nearly 4 months.
It could happen again, and I hope and pray it doesn't. But it's one. You would think that the storm was, 400 miles an hour or something. That it was the most intense of all time. No, it wasn't. It was strong. It was dangerous, catastrophic for those on the coast. But this happens.
Can you imagine, though, if the 2005 season were happening right now?
Oh my gosh!
With these Marxists at the controls.
Yeah, it would be. It would be catastrophic for the nation.
Yeah.
It really would. All right, let me tell you about Birch Gold Group. Last time we went through a recession, there were stocks that literally went to zero. Washington Mutual, for instance, Lehman Brothers, Chrysler, multiple blue chip stocks went to little or no value almost overnight. Could that happen again? Of course it could. And if it did, are your savings protected? Why not own something that's never been valued at zero? Gold. Historically, your best hedge against inflation, which is rising like a hockey stick as we speak. The smartest and savviest Americans diversify their savings to protect them from downturns in the market, from global instability, and from a falling dollar. Do you? Birch Gold Group helps you hold gold and silver in a tax-sheltered retirement account. In fact, if you have a 401k or IRA that's underperforming, just text PAT to 989-898, and you can convert that IRA into precious metals right now. Text PAT to 989-898. They're going to send you a free info kit on diversifying into gold tax-free. It'll give you a hedge against inflation, and it'll protect your hard-earned money. Again, get your free kit. You can read up on it, and you can figure out if it's right for you. Text PAT to 989-898.
Pat Gray Unleashed.
Yes. In the scope of NOAA denying the fact that hurricanes are intensifying and becoming more frequent. I mean, obviously they're not more frequent. That is as plain as the nose on your face. As a Barbara Streisand nose on your face. That's how plain it is. Yeah, that's plain.
Yeah.
So they also deny that they're intensifying in any significant way. There's no evidence of it. In fact, there's evidence to the contrary. There have been fewer tornadoes, fewer hurricanes. You look at the space between a really active hurricane season like 2005, as we were just talking about, and then you go the next, I think it was 12 years. I think 2017 was the next time we had anything major hit the United States of America. It's obvious that it's not more frequent and they're not more intense. Hurricanes do intensify as they go over the water, and they get into more shallow waters. Yes, it's warmer and it will intensify. That's nothing new. It is not new. I wish we could completely eliminate hurricanes and tornadoes, for that matter, and drought and floods. But we can't. It's a reality of this planet. Here's a Florida man who was making the most out of the devastation in his flooded out home. Guy's swimming through his living room or someplace.
Oh, boy.
Look at that. Jeez.
Oh, my God. Oh, my God.
Oh, I can't imagine. God bless you people.
Yeah. I don't think I'd be in the mood to record that video if that was my house. That's amazing. Jeez. Also, a local reporter had to improvise to do her broadcast. She put a little something on her microphone to keep it from getting rained on.
What's that?
A lot of people are asking, what is on my microphone? It is what you think it is. It's a condom. It helps protect the gear. We can't get these mics wet. There's a lot of wind. There's a lot of rain. So we got to do what we got to do. And that is put a condom on the microphone.
Oh, no. Okay, we got it. Wow. The reservoir tip and everything. Yeah, as Pat had pointed out on Twitter yesterday, it's only 99.6% effective when you're out there covering a hurricane.
So she might need a new microphone anyway? Yeah, all right.
Another one on there. That's interesting. I never thought of that.
Yeah, interesting. Also, some weird things going on, like a shark making its way inland.
Hold on. Before you show the shark, can we show the guy who wrapped his house in saran wrap? I mean, look at that. I want to know if that worked. He wrapped his house in saran wrap. I don't know how much that cost him. I don't know how thick it is, if it goes all the way to the ground. Because, I mean, if the water gets underneath it, it's game over, man.
Yeah.
I don't know.
It also seems like that would take a really long time.
Right.
Wow.
But shark, yeah. And people are asking, that listen to this show, and is this Pico? Have we located Pico? Because we know his propensity to swim across land in Florida.
Right.
But yeah, he was out there. Look at that, man. Can you imagine looking out your door and there's a shark just hanging out in
your neighborhood?
Hey, what's
swimming down your street?
Yeah. I do have
something.
I do have bad news. I did look up Pico. The last time Pico was pinged, he was way out in the Atlantic. The date, August 5th, 2020. I think it's obvious.
We haven't heard from Pico in 2 years.
No, hasn't pinged. I think
we lost him.
COVID got Pico.
We lost him.
So
that's really sad.
You guys remember Pico in your own special way.
Mm-hmm.
No, wait. I'm sorry. September 13th, 2021. Oh,
still. That's over a year.
Yeah.
So
I think he's gone.
Yeah.
Or maybe he took the tag off. It doesn't mean he's gone, right?
Well, that's
because
true.
It would still ping at the bottom.
Right.
Just he wouldn't have moved in a while. But I think that he took the tag off. We'll just say that. Now he's happy swimming somewhere.
And that could fall off naturally. Sure. So he might be alive and well. Who knows?
He is, kids.
Yeah. Also, another strange occurrence in a Florida neighborhood. They had a gigantic manatee.
Yeah.
One of those big sea cows ambling down the sidewalk. This is really sad.
It is sad. He doesn't know what to do.
He needs water. And, oh my.
I just hate that. Wow. I hope he's headed toward the ocean, because that's sad.
That is sad. And what are you going to do for him?
But that's right.
I mean,
come on.
What does he weigh? 1,200 pounds? Jeez.
Have you ever? Okay. Case in point. Have you ever tried to get Jeffy to go somewhere?
No, but
okay.
Yeah,
it's a good,
very similar
training ground.
Mm-hmm.
I seriously, I don't know how you would guide a manatee. to the water.
I don't think you do. I've never seen an instance of it, which doesn't mean it never happened, I guess. But
I tell you, man, we got the numbers starting to come out of Florida. I just saw that the Lee County Sheriff said hundreds are dead in his county alone.
Oh, no, really?
That just flashed across the screen. And there's over 2.5 million people plus that have no power.
Yeah.
Y'all stay safe, I swear.
All of Cuba without power. So, that was a vicious storm. Vicious storms do happen. And one just did in Florida. And you don't have to politicize it.
Yeah. It's going to take forever to rebuild.
And those floodwaters. Yeah. I mean, did you see all the destruction? There's trees everywhere. Yeah. There are overturned planes and cars and vehicles that were just floating down rivers of water that were going through people's neighborhoods. And floodwater up to people's rooftops. Yeah, it's unreal.
Ian is the kind of storm that redesigns cities.
Yeah.
I mean, things are never the same in certain locales.
Happened to Houston a few years ago.
Yeah. Was that Harvey?
Yeah, I believe it was.
And that 2.5 million without power, by the way, that's Florida. I mean, I don't know how many. That's just
in other
Florida
states.
Alone.
Yeah.
My goodness.
It is weakened now to a tropical storm, which is good, but still, it's capable of doing a lot of devastation by way of flooding.
So, it was in the Gulf, crossed Florida, and it's now entering the Atlantic.
Wow. Really difficult. Really tough to watch. Really tough. I mean, if you had to deal with this, we really feel for you. Hopefully, aid will get to you very soon. And I know there's going to be all kinds of people volunteering to help out and go there and help them rebuild, because it's going to take a while. I'm not sure Houston is completely rebuilt from 2017 in Harvey. That was devastating. And when we went down there, I don't know, a few weeks after it happened to help out, and stuff was still stacked up, piled high in everybody's yard. And they were waiting for the trucks to come by, because the trucks, I mean, can you imagine the work you have to do to get rid of all the debris?
Yeah, we're going to tweet out. There's a Florida disaster fund that the state of Florida is running. We will tweet that link out if you want to donate and help out down there, because, man, this is going to be
devastating
forever
to people. Yeah, really devastating. 888-900-3393. Also at Pat Unleashed on Twitter. We have this list of the best countries in the world. This is the top 10 in the 2022 best countries on earth ranking. The biggest riser near the top of the list was Sweden, which jumped 4 spots from last year.
Sweden, where there are bombings constantly.
Mm-hmm.
And immigrants overwhelming the entire system?
Yeah, that's the country.
So that's the best country in the world?
No, it's just the fastest riser.
Oh, fastest riser on the list. Okay, got it.
They're actually 5th. Number 1 on the list, Switzerland.
Okay.
Number 2, Germany. And number 3, Canada.
What?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Under Trudeau?
Under Trudeau.
In Germany without any kind of way to heat their homes this winter?
Yes.
You might want to reshuffle this list in January.
United States comes in at number 4, which kind of surprises me. That's pretty high for one of these kind of rankings.
Do we know who did this list?
Yes, it was U.S. News and World Report.
Uh-huh.
Sweden is 5th, as I mentioned. Japan 6th. At number 7, Australia, followed by the United Kingdom, France, and Denmark, rounding out the top 10. Now, conversely, on the other side of this list,
oh no,
the 10 lowest ranked countries in the world: Belarus, Uzbekistan, Iran, Kazakhstan, Serbia, Algeria, Lebanon, Oman, Zambia, and Myanmar. There you go.
So Myanmar is the worst?
Worst country on earth, I guess.
Afghanistan's not on that list?
It's
what?
Higher than these
countries, and there are places worse than Iran?
It's hard to believe.
Pat Gray. Now back to Pat Gray on the Blaze Radio Network.
888-900-3393. Pat Unleashed on Twitter. I mean, where do you even go with this?
Fun world, right?
Yeah. If you saw Joe Biden yesterday at that Hunger, Nutrition, and Health Conference, it seriously should be the last straw for Americans. Come on now. There's no denying, even though they did, that this is a cognitive problem with this guy. He stands up and he starts thanking the people who really helped out in this hunger, nutrition, and health situation. And here's what happened.
And so many of you know so much about this as well, and you're committed. And I want to thank all of you here for including bipartisan elected officials like Representative Governor, Senator Braun, Senator Booker, Representative Jackie. Are you here? Where's Jackie? I didn't think she was going to be here.
She was
to help make this.
Yeah. No, she was rude enough not to show up. She didn't show up at all. Why? She's been dead for almost 2 months. No, Jackie wasn't there, Joe. Well, maybe he didn't know. Did he just, he's going to meet with their family on Friday. He knew. And yet, because his mind doesn't function properly, he couldn't remember it. He couldn't process it. Something happened along the way where Joe Biden thought that Jackie might actually be there. Where is she? Well, she's 6 feet underground right now, I assume.
Yeah, Jackie Walorski was the one who died in that car wreck with the two staffers.
Mm-hmm. On August 3rd.
God.
So it's been almost 2 months now. It is unbelievable. This guy is leading the free world. How is it possible? How have we not demanded that the 25th Amendment be enforced, enacted, put into place? Yes. Do we have problems after him? Yeah. Kamala Harris would be the new president.
We'll cross that bridge.
We'll cross that. Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
Oh.
It is so bad that to try to defend him, I get it. It's a tough job. KJP has a really difficult job. It'd be difficult under any circumstances. It's impossible with her.
Yeah.
Because A, she's terrible. She's the worst White House press spokesperson of all time. And B, you're defending a guy who has dementia and is a lying sack of crap. And you've got to make him out to be sharp, active, vibrant, and honest every day. It's impossible. It's seriously impossible.
Yeah, and I'm sure in her big book of answers, there's probably not a section on talks about dead people.
Yeah, you wouldn't think so.
Looks for
right.
Yeah,
But you won't believe the well, maybe you will. You may have heard it by now. Here it is.
Florida. That is the focus, and that's going to continue to be the focus these next couple of days.
One quick final one. Sure. What happened in the hunger event today? The president appeared to look around the room for an audience member, a member of Congress who passed away last month. He seemed to indicate she might be in the room. What happened?
So the president was, as you all know, you guys were watching today's event, a very important event on food insecurity. The president was naming the congressional champions on this issue and was acknowledging her incredible work.
No, he wasn't.
He wasn't. Planned to welcome the congresswoman's family to the White House on Friday. There will be
so he should know she's gone.
In her honor this coming Friday. Of course, she was on his mind. She was of top of mind
Pause
for
it
the
for a
president.
second. What an asinine explanation.
Yeah.
She's top of mind. If that's the case, he should have known she's dead. If that's the case, move on. You could thank, I want to thank Jackie Walorski. We lost her nearly 2 months ago on August 3rd in a car accident. I want to thank her for the incredible work she put in as well. If you're top of mind, that's what you say there. If I'm thinking about my mother and she's top of mind, and I know that my mom died 5 years ago, I'm not saying, Catherine? Where's Catherine? Where is she? Where's my mom? I wonder what. I'm pretty sure she was going to be here. She was going to be here today. No. What a stupid. That's just insulting. That's an insult
and I'm
to
glad
the intelligence of the American people.
The press had lots of questions yesterday, and that was good to see.
Yeah.
Have we finished that first clip there, Rob, on this?
Yeah, let's finish that one.
Very much looks forward to discussing her remarkable legacy of public service with them when he sees her family this coming Friday.
That's good of you.
Jackie, are you here? Where's Jackie? She must not be here.
No, I totally understand. I just explained
Totally
she
understand.
was on top
I got
of
nothing.
mind.
Top of mind. Top of mind.
This wasn't what we were able to.
doesn't even make sense.
Witness
She knows
today
it,
and
too.
what the president was able to lift
It's an
up,
impossible job, though,
in
right
this,
here.
at this conference, at this event, was how her focus on wanting to deal with, combat food insecurity in America.
Okay.
And this is something that he was
Okay, I can't
lifting
take
up
it
and
anymore.
honoring.
That has nothing to do with the fact that he's wondering where she is.
Okay, KJP, this is a tip for you here. When you're groping for an answer to somehow give a pass to the invalid in the Oval Office, and your eyes are constantly down, and when she's trying to come up with an answer, they're just blink, 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 blink. She's not doing herself any favors with the eyeshadow that's like all glittery and stuff, because it just accentuates that she's struggling for an answer to describe what this guy was saying. Ugh.
There comes a time when you just, don't you have to eventually just be honest? Yeah, I don't know. He forgot momentarily. I mean, what do you, at least I'd appreciate that you're being honest. Saying that he had her on top of his mind is not reasonable.
If Saturday Night Live had the guts, and we know that they don't.
No, they do not.
In fact, their premiere for the year has been when is it? It's going to be late this year. It's it's October. Oh my gosh! It's this Saturday? Okay. Where is the KJP bit where she's standing up there and they're asking questions like this? Hey, so President Biden was looking for a dead woman at an event this week. Yeah, he's got dementia. Next question. and maybe that's the answer to every question. Yep, this is a sign of dementia. Next question.
You know, you guys voted for him. I didn't.
I just work here.
81 million people voted for him. I'm just working for him. Okay, I'm getting a paycheck. He's cognitively declining, and I think that was pretty obvious yesterday. Just be honest. Just be honest at this point. Jeez.
There will be no KJP cold open on Saturday Night Live.
No, I'm sure not.
2 days, although it is tailor-made for them.
It would be shocking if they did. Shocking. Meanwhile, Kamala.
Well, hang on. There's more. The press kept going.
Oh, okay. That's right. Yeah, let's see what else, because she was asked about it again, amazingly.
And she was on top of mind.
Sure.
I mean, I don't.
Yeah.
That is.
Top of mind.
I mean, that is not an unusual scenario.
No, it is.
Top of mind just about every day, but I'm not looking around for him.
For John Lennon.
Thank you.
When you sign a bill for John Lennon as president, then we can have this conversation. Okay.
What? That's good.
Go ahead.
Oh my God.
That's funny.
Now she's just pissed.
Go ahead.
Are happening
Go
with
ahead.
the race
Go ahead.
Excuse me, there are
Americans
reports
are watching this and are having concerns. What do you say to that?
Americans are watching.
This is a legitimate question.
Yeah.
We need to have some answers.
Right. Thank you. Thank you.
I'm sorry. Somebody was yelling over you. So
Yeah.
Go ahead.
There are reports that Treasury
Secretary Yellen is looking to leave.
It is not your turn to speak, and you're being rude to your colleagues.
I love
and
it.
let your colleague answer the question. Go ahead.
Jeez.
Go ahead. No.
Okay, they're
you're
rebelling
yelling
a little
over
bit.
your colleague
'Cause it's so ridiculous.
That is incredibly rude. So can you go ahead? Go ahead.
There are reports that Treasury Secretary Yellen.
We don't care about yelling, bro. We don't care about yelling.
Tell us about
Okay?
Finally!
You gotta let the Yellen question go. We've got to have a moment here about our president.
Finally! They've had enough of this bull crap.
Yeah.
Finally!
And can I just say, Occupy Democrats, this radical left-wing group, they tweeted out after that moment of clear dementia and disconnection from the rest of the planet that Joe Biden had yesterday. Do we have the tweet that Occupy Democrats put out following this? Do we have that? There we go. Right there on the screen.
Radical right-wing Republican Jackie Walorski skips White House forum on hunger initiative. Oh, man. She was also unable to be reached for comment about her act of defiance. Huh. Well, that's pretty rude.
Yeah.
For a dead person to just ignore the press reaching out to her for an answer.
Yeah, retweet if you're tired of the constant disrespect of President Biden. First of all, this is a lie. Let me tell you why it's a lie. She was also, first of all, they want everything to be absolutely hyper-political. Mm-hmm. So they get ready as soon as they see, oh, she's not in the crowd. Tweet something out about this. She was also unable to be reached for comment about her act of defiance. Bullcrap. You didn't reach out to jack crap, man.
They would have found out she's dead.
Anybody's office.
And they wouldn't have tweeted.
You morons would have, I swear, you would have called. They would have said, oh, I'm sorry, you didn't get the word.
Yeah.
She passed away 2 months ago. And then you would have never tweeted that out. I swear. Stop lying.
The other hopeful situation is that it's not just Peter Doocy at that press conference.
Right.
There was several reporters that are like, okay, come on.
Stop.
No.
This weekend at Bernie's presidency's got to stop.
Yep. I mean, thank you for finally noticing something we've been talking about for 2.5 years now. The guy is compromised. He's compromised with dementia. So, I mean, does he have some kind of pill that keeps him going? I think so. Yeah, I think so. But sometimes it wears off, and you saw that yesterday. He has his moments, but he also has many moments of decline where you can absolutely tell that the guy is not fit to be president of the United States.
He's not fit to be a Walmart greeter. No offense to Walmart greeters.
Yeah, and again, if this was Donald Trump asking where a dead person was, do you think they would ever let it go? This would lead every broadcast on CNN, MSNBC, ABC, CBS, NBC. They'd all be all over it. But, as it is, not a peep out of CNN. Not a peep. They're just going to ignore it. Don't worry about it. Yeah, okay, it's obvious the president has dementia. But we're not going to talk about it. Wow. Okay.
Yeah, and you can put to bed this this stupid argument that, I think that Ronald Reagan, his Alzheimer's had kicked in before his term ended.
Not like this.
Do ya?
Yeah, really.
Shut up.
I know. There's no way. He did not. I mean, they would have showed that nonstop.
Listen to Ronald Reagan's last speech from the Oval Office on the eve of him leaving the presidency.
Mm-hmm.
No, don't try to make that case. And then let's talk about Joe Biden. Oh, gosh, I can't. I know. Over this crap, dude. Get him out. Get him the hell out of there.
Yesterday should be the last
Someone's
straw
gonna
for
get,
this guy.
Well,
should be.
People have gotten killed. What am I saying? The man is just going to...
We need to invoke the 25th Amendment. He needs to be removed from office.
And then he needs to go directly from office to jail.
That would be
Spend your retirement days in prison. For any number of things, man. Ugh.
Really incredible. I don't know. And obviously it was maybe sort of a last straw for some of those people in that press conference yesterday. Some recognized it. Then you got this doofus that she is trying to give her a way out. Janet, tell me about Janet Yellen. Anybody gives a rat's anus about Janet Yellen.
I mean, we should in a normal world, but this is not a normal world.
Yeah, not when there's proof positive of Alzheimer's or some sort of dementia in the presidency. Janet Yellen said yesterday. Shut up. Jeez.
Has anybody asked about Ashley Biden's diary at the press conference?
Oh, I don't think so. No, I don't think even Peter Doocy's asked about that. That would be a fascinating question as well. And, they should also just ask the question, look, Kareem, isn't it just clear now that this president is compromised with some sort of dementia?
I want her asked.
Just put it right on the spot.
Right. Well, let's see. Has Biden's competency been tested? Like,
Yeah.
remember how they made that big deal? Remember
about Trump?
Oh, yeah, remember this stupid test that Don Lemon was trying to do on there with Cuomo?
Yep.
And they got it wrong. Remember that stuff?
Mm-hmm. And this is all completely ignored. And there have been
That's
literally
the test I want to see Biden take.
literally hundreds of examples of this guy's problem. Hundreds. All right. Let me tell you about preborn. This is an incredible statistic. Almost 1 out of 5 Americans never have a chance to live outside the womb. Can you believe that? 20% of babies are aborted. Wow. Leading cause of infant death in the world. Over 63 million babies have been aborted just since Roe v. Wade was enacted in 1973. Yes, it's been overturned. But the states now will start, those liberal states, the blue states, will start administering more abortions to make up for the conservative states where you can't get one. That's why the Ministry of Preborn and Blaze Media are partnering to help rescue 50,000 babies this year, working to put Planned Parenthood out of business. And they do this by showing ultrasounds to the expectant mother. 80% of the time, once they see the ultrasound and hear the heartbeat, it is overwhelming to them to the point where they choose life. And when she chooses life, Preborn provides maternity and baby clothes, diapers, car seats, counseling, all kinds of things free of charge. That's where you come in. They need your help to do this. To donate, dial pound 250 and say the keyword baby. That's pound 250, keyword baby. Or go to preborn.com/Pat.
Pat Gray Unleashed. Pat Gray is here on the Blaze Radio Network.
Welcome. God, that thing. I can't get over what happened yesterday with the president. Can't get over it. You can't hide from it. Nope. This comment that he made, these questions that he was asking about a person who's dead, you just can't hide from that. There is no explanation other than the guy is mentally incapable of doing this job. You can't have a guy who can't even know. He's meeting with her family on Friday. He knows she died in a car accident, or at least at one point he did. He's been told. Everybody knows Jackie Walorski died in a car accident on August 3rd. That's nearly 2 months ago now. Yesterday, he's asking where she is. Huh. And it certainly wasn't lost on a lot of the press corps yesterday that finally asked KJP about it, and it wasn't even Peter Doocy. Somebody else. And then others were yelling the question because they couldn't believe she was trying to pass it off as, well, she was top of mind. What? What are you talking about? We got some tweets here. Alexandria Go tweets, if the storms are intensifying, shouldn't we be seeing category 7, 8, or 9 storms?
That's a good question.
Yeah, it is. Also from Sasquatch Cougar fan. By the way, they play tonight against Utah State. Asking where a dead person is in a meeting is worse than don't jump and stand up, Chuck. Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's for sure.
Chuck Graham, state senator's here. Mm-hmm. Chuck, stand up, Chuck. Let him see you. Oh, God love you. What am I talking about?
He's in a wheelchair, bro.
Yeah, he can't stand up. But appreciate it. Thanks, Joe. Bunter Hayden, crack connoisseur. Yes, we can get rid of every hurricane. We just need to send more money to the Paris Climate Accords, more money to the Democrat Party, and then to Ukraine. All right.
Yeah. More money to Ukraine. You just talked about that $12 billion the other day Congress passed. Yeah. Yesterday we announced another $1 billion package. I'm sorry. You just lost 4 provinces. They're going to do some formal annexation ceremony tomorrow at the Kremlin. I think we've sent enough. It ain't working. I want to show you this, though, with the storms. Mm-hmm. What was it, 42 or 48,000 linemen lined up in Florida, ready to go. Just truck after truck after truck, stretching forever. Coming to the rescue, y'all. Hang in there.
As soon as the water subsides and they can get in there, they will.
Yeah, 42,000 plus, just lined up, ready to go.
But DeSantis has done nothing.
Right.
He's been completely idle in this event. Sure. Okay.
Oh, the Russia thing. I'm sorry. There was a U.S. Defense Department official. Let's see. Oh, here it is. Reuters. Hang on. Here we go. Senior U.S. defense official says the United States has absolutely nothing to do with the Nord Stream pipeline leak. So there you go. It's done.
Oh, well, they said we had nothing to do with it.
Nothing to do with it. So
Done.
Time to move on.
Done deal.
Okay.
All right.
Yeah. Russia makes what, 160 billion euros a year or something off of their gas and oil exports. I don't think they're doing that.
Also, speaking at an event in D.C. yesterday, Biden warned oil and gas companies.
Okay.
Do not, let me repeat, do not use this as an excuse to raise gasoline prices or gouge the American people. Yeah. I don't know if he's aware of this. You can't tell American businesses what to do. I mean, do I want them to raise prices? No. But the American president cannot order them not to. He thinks he can. I believe he thinks he can. But you can't. And there are going to be, there's going to be some fallout from this. But industry analysts actually say Hurricane Ian will not affect gas prices. According to Andy Lippo, a longtime oil analyst, said, I don't think it'll have any impact at all. Wow. Just as a matter of geography, there's no direct effect on the oil and gas market. According to another analyst, a senior energy analyst, Florida is not an energy producing state in the way Texas and Louisiana are.
Yeah.
So, yeah, you're not going to, you don't have a bunch of oil refineries that are down and all those kinds of things.
You're not having to clear out workers for weeks at a time or whatever.
Right.
Yeah,
so that's good news.
That's good. What's our gas price up to now, Rob, though? We're still going up.
National average was $3.72. It is now, it's up 6 cents since last we checked. $3.78 a gallon. It is going up again.
Don't do it. Don't do it.
Don't. Let me be clear. Don't raise gas prices. Let me be clear again. Don't raise food prices either. And if I could be clear a third time, could we please, get cars back on dealership lots.
But what if they
start selling cars again?
What if they run on gas, Mr. President?
Don't sell them. Don't sell them.
What the hell do you want us to do, bro? I mean, it's one disaster after another.
You have two legs, don't you?
With this guy.
Walk. Yeah. Oh, it's crazy. It's crazy.
At what point does our nation just become completely unrecoverable?
How many point that's very near?
How many body blows can we take as a nation?
I don't know.
I
don't know.
I'm sorry that I did the math. I apologize. But we're still only like 41% or something through this presidency.
Stop it.
Sorry. Well, that's if it's one term.
So Kamala Harris in South Korea today, but this video is from a couple of weeks ago.
Yeah.
We were telling you about a few minutes ago. She's this is just starting to get passed around a little bit online though. Because here's our alternative.
We had a clip from this that was where she kept repeating the word community, but apparently it was another part of the speech where she got hung up on another word. Yeah.
Today, the business of our work is for the council to report on the work that has occurred since our last meeting across these areas.
Where you
we
were
will
working.
Today also discuss the work yet ahead, the work we must still do to continue to move forward.
With the work. To continue to move forward with the work. Yeah, the other part was the community thing. Community. Oh, jeez.
I don't understand how her brain works. I don't understand how his brain works. There's no good option here.
No, there's not.
And I can't find this video, but I saw a thing crawl on the bottom there that said at the demilitarized zone between North and South Korea, where she's over there, she apparently mistakenly praised the partnership between the U.S. and North Korea. Which I got to thinking may not be that far from accurate with this administration in office.
You never know. You never know. Jeez.
Help.
I'm sure that North Korea was just on top, at the top of her mind. It was just top of mind, and so that's why she said we have some kind of arrangement with North Korea. The worst. I mean, and then you go to the third option in the succession, and that's Nancy Pelosi, who's also an absolute buffoon and completely gone. Either
wow, got audio.
Either her mind is gone or she's just drunk all the time. I'm not sure which it is. But she's terrible as well.
Yeah, and then after her would be what? Patrick Leahy? That's good.
Yeah, that's really good.
We are just
Senate Pro Tem. Is the Senate Pro Tem number 4?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then we go to the cabinet, like oldest cabinet position. So we'd start with what? Secretary of State and work our way back till you get to the HUD director or something.
Yeah, something
Homeland
like
Security.
number 12 or so.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
I mean, this is help. Aliens.
It's not good.
If you're okay, message to all aliens that are tuned into this broadcast. Get here faster. Okay?
And if you already are here, show yourselves.
Just come on.
Help us.
Come on.
Please.
Oh.
By all that is holy, help us.
Help.
This is great, too. Talk about things being in really good shape. Did you see this Chattanooga Children's Pride event?
Oh.
So great. Wow. Men dressed up as, well, here's a man dressed as the Little Mermaid, and he invites children up on stage to touch his mermaid costume. And here's a look at what happened there. Okay.
This is
sick.
I want to vomit.
Twisted. Little girl rubbing his crotch.
I can't.
And he's allowing it.
I can't even look at this crap. Screw them.
So bad. Then you got this guy doing the splits and in the face of all these kids. What are the parents thinking that bring their children to this event? What is going on? How did this happen? And I guess we're just supposed to think, yeah, it's perfectly normal. That's fine. A drag queen walking through the crowd, entertaining tiny little children. That's probably what, a 2-year-old?
Oh, smart girl.
Maybe.
Smart little girl. Away. Oh, no. No, your instincts were right the first time, little girl. Get away. I can't.
Jeez.
I can't.
There's a child being held in her mother's arms, and she's just dancing along with the drag queen. Gives the child to the drag queen, and the child didn't like that much.
No, little girl.
Such a weird thing.
All about sexualizing our kids.
There's so many things I don't understand right now.
Mm-hmm.
This is pretty close to the top of the list.
I
don't understand the children with drag queen situation.
Yeah, I never want government to be involved with anything. Just as far away as a solution as possible. Way down the list.
Mm-hmm.
I will say, though, the parents that are taking these children to these events, someone needs to intervene.
Yeah.
Those parents are not fit to be parents if you're taking your kid to these events.
I don't think so. You'd be hard pressed to make a cogent case that it's okay for these parents to take their kids to these drag queen shows.
I forgot who it was that said it online. It might have been Lauren Chen or something. It's like the issue here is that you're teaching these kids to use sex.
Yeah.
To make a living. To say, look, it's okay to sexualize yourself because hand them a dollar bill. You're showing them that here's how capitalism works. The little kids, man, leave them the hell alone.
And again, the Gays Against
Groomers. Yeah.
Groomers. The Gays Against Groomers group is foremost among those who are saying, this is sick. Stop it.
Yeah, they're the ones that are constantly posting this stuff too, yeah.
And so they're under fire from the left right now.
Mm-hmm.
They're not real LGBTQ people, I guess, because they have common sense. And so you've got to completely disparage them and silence them. Do not let them speak. And yet they are. To their credit, they are, and they have been speaking out about this. I mean, look at how sexualized that was. It's sick. It's perverted. It's wrong. It's evil. I don't know how you put a stop to it. How do you make parents understand that that's really not a good idea? But something needs to happen here. Let me tell you about Keeps. What's the first thing you notice when you look at a photo of yourself, or you look in the mirror, or for some reason you see the back of your head, maybe after a haircut, and your stylist shows you the haircut from the back? Oof. And then you see those bald spots? Ah! Ah! There's a solution. It's called Keeps. Hair loss is hideous, and you don't want it to happen. And you become self-conscious about it. Well, Keeps has clinically proven, FDA-approved hair loss treatments available online. Whether you're looking to prevent hair loss, stimulate hair growth, or just take better care of the hair that you have, your Keeps medical provider will help you find the right products and develop a personalized hair-saving routine that works for you. It's really easy. There's no waiting rooms. There's no pharmacy visits. Keeps is delivered straight to your door at about half the cost of a traditional pharmacy. Half. So, it's really convenient. It works. And if you have any questions, you can message your Keeps provider 24/7. So, join the thousands of guys who have already saved their hair with Keeps. Visit Keeps.com, KEEPS.com/Pat, and get 50% off your first order. That's KEEPS, Keeps.com/Pat.
This is Pat Gray. Pat Gray is here on the Blaze Radio Network.
Some tweets. We are all the tweets. They're legitimately going to elect a senator in just as bad of cognitive shape as Biden. Right. That's right.
Who would that be?
John Fetterman or Fetterwoman. I'm sorry.
Thank you. Okay.
In Pennsylvania. They do not care about capability to perform the duties of office.
No.
The voters are allowed to elect cognitively impaired people, and clearly that's what they want.
And that's what they did with, Republicans did that with the guy in Mississippi who liked to talk about, indecent things with sheep or something.
Right. What was that guy's name?
No, man. Don't make me do this.
Jeez.
Mississippi.
Meanwhile, the sniper BBB tweets, if the hurricane isn't impacting gas prices, why did it jump 20 to 30 cents 2 days ago?
That's happening in so many places.
It is.
It happened here when we jumped 30 cents overnight. That I don't understand. Thad Cochran, by the way.
Yeah, right.
And they just needed a guy to just vote.
And we spoke out against him, by the way, if you'll recall. It was a while ago. Stu's Invisible Bentley tweets, the gas is going to dip down again when they drain the rest of our strategic supply. So, yep, we've got the winning administration in office. Hippie Patriot, drag shows for kids are equal to throwing them off a cliff to honor Moloch.
That's the truth.
Sure is. Apparently, we had a caller, Robert, said, what if the aliens were actually here and are in charge of destroying our world? Well, then that would be bad.
Oh, that's awkward. That's a plot twist I wasn't anticipating there. Just put my sign down now? Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah, that doesn't work out well, actually, if that's the case.
Think about this. Let's just say, go with me here. I'm going to take you to a happy place.
Take me there.
Okay. Ron DeSantis gets elected in 2024.
Okay.
Or Trump, whatever. It doesn't matter in this scenario.
Either one.
Either one, we're fine, right? The mess that they will have to clean up, it will be a failed presidency. Because this is beyond, there's no precedent for this kind of disaster.
I know. It's going to be tough.
It's
going to take 2 terms, probably, to get things back in order. But it has to happen.
It's going to take more.
It has to happen.
You think it'll take 8 years and we'll be fine then?
Yeah, then we'll be fine. Then things are great. As long as we don't ever elect a Democrat president again, it'll be fine. Everything will be good.
How many booby traps, intentional and unintentional, will be set for the next president?
Oh, I'm sure a lot.
Because that is one thing. Okay, give me just 2 seconds for nerddom here, please. When Grover Cleveland won his second term, right, in between was Benjamin Harrison. Well, there was so much time that passed from early November to early March in those days that Harrison intentionally destroyed the economy and Grover Cleveland's second term was an economic disaster. Anyway.
I remember that.
Jeffy would remember that.
Jeffy would. I remember it from history because I've studied Grover Cleveland so extensively, as have you, obviously.
An honest man.
Yeah. People don't realize we've had some really good presidents who just are not well known.
On purpose, and by design.
Yeah. Calvin Coolidge, Grover Cleveland. There's been some really good presidents that nobody ever respects, nobody ever pays any attention to, and you won't find them at the top of the list of all of these presidential historians. They'll never put Grover Cleveland or Calvin Coolidge at the top of any of those lists.
But something like that 150 years ago, that was just out of spite. Oh, yeah? You're going to beat me? Well, I'm going to leave you a mess to clean up here. These are Marxists.
Yeah.
They want to destroy this country. It's not out of spite for the next guy that gets elected from another party. It's we want to destroy America, and we will do everything we can. Can you imagine from early November to the end of January all the things that they're going to do? They're doing this now in the hopes of getting reelected. Can you imagine when they're a lame duck and they don't care? I'm not happy today.
No, I know. I noticed that. This will make him happier. You know the North Dakota guy who murdered the Trump supporter, driving over the top of him, running into him, killed 18-year-old Kaylor Ellingson because he didn't like his politics because he was a Trump supporter. He's out on bail, right? $50,000 bond is all it took to get out of jail after murdering an 18-year-old.
Okay, I'm waiting for the happy.
Murdering. Well, he's not even under house arrest. He can go wherever he wants. He doesn't have any restrictions on his bail.
I think I can speak for the audience when I say we're still waiting for the...
Oh, that didn't help? That's weird.
The happy stuff. Is there another paragraph to the story?
Well, there's another sentence to the story at least. I mean, you compare and contrast this to the people who were parading on January 6th. And you think, wow, yeah, justice has really been done, hasn't it? Because those paraders really need to be taught a lesson and not let out of jail for a really long time, for a year and a half. And then don't even give them a trial. Not a speedy one, anyway.
Okay.
Just leave them to rot in those jails in D.C. Are we still not at the happy place?
We're not there yet. Is that last sentence and then Shannon Brandt was run down?
No, that's
While he
not
was
the last
walking to the
sentence.
store?
No. And by the way, that's the name of the killer, Shannon Brandt, 41 years old, who fatally hit Ellington with his vehicle following a street dance at a local bar in McHenry, North Dakota. Jeez. And again, here's a situation that the mainstream media won't even touch. They won't even talk about this.
Nope.
They won't even let you know that this happened.
No. Remember, I did that news search. NBC and MSNBC can't be bothered with
like zero stories,
writing
right?
a story at all. Yeah. CNN did one. What was it? CBS.
I'm surprised CNN did one.
Yeah, and then ABC did two. I think that's what it was. I think it was 11200.
My gosh. Well, because there's so many instances of white supremacists killing people all over the country that you just can't focus on this situation.
Well, there's probably not enough room on the internet.
Not enough room.
To write all these stories about
internet won't hold it.
Kaylor Ellingson stories don't matter. We've got to squeeze in all of these white supremacy stories.
Right.
There's only so much bandwidth apparently available to newsrooms.
Oh, that's right. And you're taking it up with all the hateful white supremacists that are on these killing sprees. And so, I mean, the FBI's got their hands full with all of the white supremacy killing sprees. So you can't expect them to look into this at all. Why would they? They wouldn't. It's really incredible. I mean, it's hard to believe. Even as you say it, it's like, okay, really? Do we have that right?
Yeah.
Jeez.
Some of these images coming out of Florida this morning are just absolutely horrific. God bless you, people. Please stay safe. It's just surreal, some of the images that are being shown this morning as the sun comes up over Florida. Y'all be safe.
Yeah, it's in Lee County, they're saying that it's likely that hundreds have died, which is really horrific.
Those are preliminary numbers too.
Yeah.
I mean, as more counties numbers come in and more is revealed by the receding water.
But you look at the devastation in it, it's obvious that there's going to be some human toll taken here. It's going to be a heavy one.
It's going to take a lot to recover.
Yep. 888-900-3393. More Pat Gray Unleashed coming up.
Pat Gray returns on the Blaze Radio Network.
Yeah. Everything's set now. We're
good?
Yeah. We're good.
Got it out of our system, and now the nation
Yeah.
is fixed.
This actually is some good news.
Oh, good.
This is not sarcasm good news. This is actual good news.
All right.
The pharmaceutical companies Biogen and Eisai said yesterday, or the day before, I guess, that a drug they're developing for Alzheimer's disease has slowed the rate of cognitive decline in a large late-stage clinical trial.
Wow.
That's really good news. Especially after we heard a couple of months ago that the Alzheimer's research had been screwed up for 15 years. Remember that? I don't know. They went down some wrong track and just kept going for 15 years. The strong results boost the drug's chances of winning approval and offer renewed hope for a class of Alzheimer's drugs that have repeatedly failed or generated mixed results. Positive data also offer Biogen a second chance after the company's disastrous rollout of another Alzheimer's drug.
There it is.
Aduhelm. That medication won regulatory approval last year despite little evidence that it could slow cognitive decline. What are the odds that they've already got the drug at 1600 Pennsylvania Avenue?
Oh.
It's already there. The Biogen has mailed a shipment and told him to take double doses.
So, in other words, you'll have like pharmaceutical reps come into your doctor's office, say, hey, try these out in some patients. Let us know how it works. First shipment of those trial runs went to the White House, huh?
Yes, that would be my guess. I mean, the most powerful guy in the world with Alzheimer's, you don't think he's getting this drug or any new development? They're probably throwing everything they possibly can at it.
Let's do it.
I'll bet you. And they should.
I think you're right. I bet they...
I mean, yesterday to me is just...
the last straw.
The final straw.
Yeah.
That broke the camel's back. You cannot deny that was an episode of cognitive decline.
And so many of you know so much about this as well, and you're committed.
Good, right.
And I want to thank all of you here for including bipartisan elected officials like Representative Governor, Senator Braun, Senator Booker, Representative Jackie. Are you here? Where's Jackie? I didn't think she was going to be
6
here.
feet underground.
To help make this.
Yeah. She's dead. We lost her. Jackie, are you here? She's on the top of mind right now. Jackie, where are you? I think she was going to be here. I can't.
But what's worse? The crime or the cover-up? In other words...
they're both pretty bad.
Because KJP...
Yeah. Oh, my gosh.
Trying to cover for that.
Play the second one where everybody's hounding her, really, for an answer. If you can. Her second question.
She was on top of mind. I mean, I don't. That
on
is
top of mind.
I mean, that is.
That's it.
That is not an unusual.
No, it really
scenario
is.
There.
Yeah, it actually is.
Top of mind just about every day, but I'm not looking around.
John Lennon, top of mind.
When you sign a bill for John Lennon as president, then we can have this conversation.
What?
Okay, go ahead.
Go ahead. Pause it for a second.
What
does that have to do with anything? Jackie Walorski wasn't up for anything. What do you mean? When you signed a bill that John Lennon was... What are you talking about?
And that was her high watermark of the whole thing. She thought, man, that's
she
good.
thought, I nailed him.
Yeah, come on.
Nailed him. It didn't even make sense like the rest of what she said. But check this out.
These moments of
confusion
are happening with
Why not
increased frequency.
Go ahead.
Excuse me, there are Americans are watching this and are having concerns. What do you say
Look
to
at,
that?
they're pissed.
This is a legitimate
Finally.
question. We need to have some answers.
We need to have some answers.
What can you tell us
I'm sorry, somebody was yelling over you, so go ahead. Go
There
ahead.
are reports that Treasury Secretary Yellen is looking to
It is not your turn to speak, and you're being rude to your colleagues, and let your colleague answer the question. Go ahead. Go ahead. No, you're yelling and over your colleague. So that is incredibly rude. So can you, go ahead. Go ahead.
There are reports that Treasury Secretary Yellen is looking to leave the administration at the end of the year. What can you tell us about?
So then she flips to the Y in her folder. You see her turning to the right?
Uh-huh.
Yellen.
Uh-huh.
I'm sorry, dude. Your question's not nearly as important as mine. So zip it on Yellen. We need to talk about the
right
president's
now,
brain.
nobody gives a rat's anus about Janet Yellen, all right? Dude, shut up.
There are reports that Secretary Yellen might leave the administration at the end of the year.
Bro, we're talking about the brain and the cognitive abilities of the president of the United States, so zip it.
Yeah. Yeah. And the fact that the answer she's giving us doesn't make any sense to anyone in this room or anywhere else in this country. But certainly in this room, they're finally waking up to it. They're finally getting it. Yeah, he's got some problems. And we need to know what kind of problems those are. And you need to be honest with us for a change. And they're actually trying to get an honest answer from her because the top of mind thing actually didn't work with them, which is amazing because they usually just move on. Peter Doocy asks a question. She gives some kind of nonsensical answer and everybody moves on. That's not the case yesterday. Because again, I think it was the final straw and everybody's like, no, come on now. That's not an explanation. This guy was asking where a dead woman was. A woman who's been dead for almost 2 months now. It was August 3rd, so we went through all of August. We're through almost all of September. We're almost to October now. And he knew at one point at least, that she died. And now he's asking where she is, if she's actually at this meeting. No, sorry, your explanation doesn't work. Not at all. And the press recognize that. Finally, welcome to the real world. Welcome to the real problem in the United States of America. Thanks for being here. Now, keep it up. Keep the pressure on her and on this White House to recognize the fact that we need to invoke the 25th Amendment and get this guy out of office. Wow. Hard to believe we're in this situation. Really hard to believe. 888-900-3393. In Britain, I guess there's some problems with unisex bathrooms and girls not feeling super safe in unisex bathrooms with men coming in. Why is that a problem? What's going on?
Hate.
Thank you.
Hate.
Bigotry?
Yep.
Perhaps. Yep. Here's one girl talking about her hate and bigotry.
Okay.
We shouldn't be doing this when I'm still emotional, but I feel like I need to get the word out there. So I was just in Primark in Cambridge, and I feel really stupid being emotional about this, but
don't feel stupid.
Yeah, I was trying on some clothes, and it was a unisex changing room, which I'm really for, and I love that because it makes everyone feel included.
In other words, she's progressive.
She loves it.
Yep.
Twice, 2 men opened the curtain, walked in on me.
Oh, jeez.
Luckily, both times I was wearing fully clothed, but I could easily not have been.
Right.
And
You know how it works.
Yeah, it was 2 different people, clearly from the same group.
Oh, what does that mean?
There was probably 100 changing rooms available. So it's not like, it was like, oh, is someone in here or not? It was, clearly. Yeah, the first time it was like as they walked in they did it, and then the second time was one of them said to the other one, oh, have you tried it on, can I see? And then he opened it, and both times I was so shocked and I was like, oh, sorry, as if it was my fault. But I have to say though, Primark have been amazing. They were really, really good about it. yeah, they have walked me back to my car and everything because I was scared. Apparently it's not the first time it's happened, and security are watching back the tapes and seeing if they can find who it is. But yeah, I just want to say to people, please be careful, and if you go in the changing room, try not go on your own. I will never be doing that again. I would rather take it home, try it on, and then take it back and get refunded. So yeah, stay safe.
All right.
Boy, it just...
I wonder if maybe then you shouldn't be having unisex changing rooms.
You remember the haters in talk radio a few years ago who said stuff like this was going to happen?
Yeah, I do remember that.
Man, those people
it might
suck,
even
right?
have nothing to do with anybody who's trans, right? We said it could be pervs or just, who are heterosexual pervs who just claim to go into these rooms because they identify as female. Well, they don't even have to do that in these unisex rooms.
You remember the makeup lady's friend who experienced that and said, the guy is like, what are you going to do about it? And it was at Target?
Yeah. And Target defended the guy.
Target defends every freak.
It's amazing. Jeez. So it's not going to be safe until you end this progressive bullcrap, this wokeness that has taken hold in the world, and stop with unisex changing rooms. Let's go back to men change here, women change over here.
I hear hate.
That's tough.
I hear hate.
That is tough.
Yeah, and I guess forward is British speak for progressive.
I guess so.
I'm very forward.
Yeah.
So
yeah,
and we learned that from that clip. At least I did.
And she's very forward with her hair color, so she's. She understands forward, so that's great.
So,
but now you got a little taste of too forward.
Yeah, maybe
didn't you? Maybe you pull this back a bit.
Right. Maybe you're just a little too woke.
Yep.
Here we go.
Let me tell you about Rough Greens. Your dog deserves really good nutrition. Nutrition that fires them back up again. Because my dog was getting a little bit listless, maybe a little chunky around the edges. And then we started using Rough Greens and sprinkling Rough Greens on top of her food, and then just sat back and watched the changes. She wouldn't even eat her food unless the Rough Greens was on top. That's how much she loves it. But it was also really good for her with the vitamins and minerals, the probiotics, the antioxidants, all of that stuff. I don't know what any of it does, but it was really good for her. And all of that stuff is missing out of the dry kibble dog food because they sterilize it so that it will last up to 3 years on the store shelves. There are maybe some dogs somewhere. I know of, Keith's. Keith's dogs didn't apparently love it.
I mean, look, in fairness, though, to Rough Greens, those two dogs you're talking about, they're weird.
Are they?
They've got issues. You know what I'm saying?
They got issues.
Yeah.
So you could try out just a small sample bag of Rough Greens, see if your dog has issues or not. And you don't have to pay anything, except for the shipping. You just pay for shipping and go to roughgreens.com, RUFFgreens.com, get your free bag. 1-833-783-3364 or roughgreens.com.
Pat Gray Unleashed.
Jeez. Welcome, David in North Dakota. Hi, you're on the Blaze.
Hey,
David. Hey. Go ahead.
You're talking about that North Dakota story?
Yeah. Yeah, the Ellington case where he was, the 18-year-old kid was run over by some douchebag. Ellington, because he was a Trump supporter, supposedly?
Well, the captain of the North Dakota State Patrol, Brian Nywind, I think his name is, made a statement last week that they can find no proof that he called him a Republican extremist on the 911 call, and also that they can't find any evidence that it's politically motivated, except for his statement.
Except for his statement? Well, that seems to be pretty good evidence right there, doesn't it?
I can't.
Except for his statement. So. What is it? Did he get the statement from somebody else who didn't commit the crime? I mean, if you got the statement from the guy who did the crime, I would tend to maybe believe that's some evidence of it. But maybe I'm just picky that way. I don't know. So have they released the 911 call? Because I haven't seen it if they have.
No, not that I've...
now, that would be interesting. That would be interesting.
Yeah.
But let's prove it then. If he didn't say anything about Republican extremism, let's hear it. Or not hear it, as the case may be. Yeah, all right. Thanks a lot, David. I mean, they just will bend over backwards with their lies.
Yeah, I'm really surprised about that.
Yeah.
In North Dakota.
Yeah, right.
Crazy.
Which is a red state. Thanks, David. Appreciate it.
And the insanity then in North Dakota, a red state, like you said. Same thing in Idaho with the mom who took her kid to the park that was closed during COVID.
Oh, yeah.
And they are going after her still. I mean,
wasn't this almost 2 years ago?
Yep.
Yeah, it was in 2020. She let the kids play at a public park. Remember that? During COVID. And they are still prosecuting it. And by the way, it's a Republican attorney general.
Mm-hmm.
That is nuts.
Yep.
Just thought it's... While Sarah Brady may not be a recognizable name among many American households, the video of her arrest most assuredly is. 2 years ago, during the early weeks of the 2020 COVID lockdowns, a video went viral of Brady getting arrested by local police after the Idaho resident allowed her children to play on the City of Meridian's Kleiner Park playground, which was closed as a result. So Meridian is suburban Boise.
Mm-hmm.
It was closed as a result of COVID restrictions. After warning Brady and other parents present that they needed to vacate the area, police officers proceeded to arrest Brady, much to the dismay of the other parents. He's arresting her for being on a public playground, one of the witnesses said in the video. Following her detainment, the Meridian Police Department charged Brady with trespassing for failing to adhere to the rules.
The rules.
In these trying times.
Oh, nice.
Really? Is that a law somehow? You must adhere to the rules in these trying times. Is that a new law in Idaho?
Yeah, a lot of people came to their senses after March of 2020 and said, you know what, man, we were wrong.
Mm-hmm.
Apparently not in Meridian.
Apparently not. The incident also sparked the launch of protests supporting Brady, which were held outside the local locality's city hall. You don't expect when you take your kids to a playground and you're just simply trying to redress an officer for a grievance of a playground closure to end up in an arrest. I never went there that day and anticipated that, she said. While the arrest of the Idaho mother, she's a mother of two, was outrageous to begin with, what's even more abhorrent is that Brady is still being prosecuted right now by the office of the state's attorney general, Lawrence Wasden. Unreal. After spending about $25,000 on 4 sets of lawyers, Brady was finally given her day in court last Tuesday when oral arguments were heard, following 2 years of her trial repeatedly getting delayed due to COVID restrictions. Wow. During the September 20th hearing, Brady's attorney, Seth Devaney, made the motion to have the trespassing charges against her dropped and issued some arguments about the constitutionality of the charges and whether or not they invokes free speech. It's exhausting to go 2.5 years. That's a really long time to fight the state of Idaho, who has unlimited resources and can continue to prosecute this indefinitely, Brady said. Our family's been through so much. We've been doxxed. We've been harassed. Keep in mind, this is over her child playing on a playground.
Unreal.
We've had child protective services called on us simply for me taking my kids to a playground. It's not even like they were there alone. you might understand, okay, she did something irresponsible and inappropriate by dropping them off at the playground and leaving. We've heard about people allowing their kids to go across the street to a playground. They might, the mom maybe wasn't there, but they let them go across the street. And we've got to be helicopter parents. We can't be 5 feet away from them. And I'm guilty of that too. I mean,
guilty? You don't use the word guilty.
I'm guilty of that.
You're guilty of teaching your kids independence?
Yeah, well, yeah, or not allowing them as much independence. As maybe.
On the other side of that.
Yeah, because I think I've told the story before when my youngest daughter was, I don't know, it was a few years ago, so maybe she was 16. She wanted to go down to the green area with the big pond that we have in our neighborhood by herself. I'm like, no, you're not. No.
Really? Okay.
You're not going down there.
I can understand the apprehension.
I don't know.
But
you just, you get hung up on this stuff. But anyway, that's not even the case here. The woman was with her kids. Outdoors, the whole thing. And there's never been a case of an outdoor instance of spreading this virus. Oh, jeez. And knowing what we know now about COVID and all the falsehoods that have been perpetrated on the American people, the fact that they're still prosecuting me just adds insult to injury. Boy, that's for sure. So according to Brady, her case is being prosecuted by Ken Jorgensen, who, in addition to representing the state in the trial, is one of Wasden's deputy attorneys general. I just knew if they were making such a big deal for me to take my kids to a playground, I had to hold strong. And I had to keep going to the end because at the end of the day, I didn't do anything wrong. Wow, she just keeps going based on principle. That's great.
Good. I love it.
And
I'm sorry that it should not be that she
shouldn't be
paying through the nose for attorney's fees and all this nonsense.
That's asinine.
But what a world when a state like Idaho is acting like this.
Yeah, isn't that something? It's crazy.
We're just filled with hope today.
Well, here's something kind of fun. Paramount has been sending people to sit or stand creepily behind home plate at Major League Baseball games to promote their new horror movie, Smile. Man, have they been promoting this hard. On Netflix, if you hit pause, the Smile ad comes up, and this creepy woman is smiling at you on the screen. I hate it. It's really creepy.
A guerrilla campaign at these ballparks, too. I think I read somewhere where they only spent $5,000 for this campaign or something like
really?
that. I don't know exactly how they got to that. And I don't know, are these actors for the movie who are just...
I'm not sure. I don't think they are. I think they're just people.
And check this out. So the cameraman at this one game...
That's 11 games including this one. That means their magic number is now 10, and they can reduce it to 9 tonight. With a victory, Reese Hoskins, Homer drove in 4. Aaron Nola, 6 scoreless innings for the win.
Oh, man.
Bad Braves game score that showed up there.
And he didn't even mention it.
Yeah.
But there she is with a Smile t-shirt and smiling creepily.
No thanks.
The whole time. The whole time. And that starts when? Friday? I think that opens Friday.
I think it might be out already.
Is it?
I just don't get out much.
All right.
Smile movie.
I don't know. They haven't done well at the box office, that's for sure.
Let's see. Oh, you're right. It comes out tomorrow.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay, so.
Or 30. What?
Usually if they open on Friday, sometimes they actually open on Thursday night.
Oh, sorry. I'm getting ahead of myself here. I've already flipped the calendar October.
No.
Screw September. It sucked. I'm moving on. Yeah, September 30th it comes out. So that's tomorrow?
Yep.
Yeah, okay, cool. You going to go watch it? Are you a big horror flick fan?
Not really. No, but I'm kind of curious about this because it's been a fun campaign. All right, we got overtime coming up today. We'll see you back here tomorrow to finish off the week. Jeffy will be with us, and we'll see you then.
Pat Gray, only on the Blaze Radio Network.